What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and in this video we're going to talk a little bit about what you need to do to unlock Moon Knight. Now, this is just the first look at this character, as well as the task list, which I only can go so far because there is a 16-hour research on task number 4. So we'll get to that in just a moment here, but first things first, as soon as I logged in, this is the first image that popped up. Well, at least after the promotion and the news screen. This is the first image I saw. And if you're wondering why I already had one of these snapshots, it's because they started dropping before Moon Knight's task officially came online. Next, this dialogue started appearing. So basically, they're talking about a vigilante, and they're trying to identify who it is. Of course, we know it's Moon Knight. But what this storyline is doing is leading us into our next task. These specific characters also have something to do with his personality changes. Besides being a generalist, he can also take on Wolverine's personality, Captain America's, and also Spider-Man's. So let's take a look at this next collection part. You have to collect 5 snapshots of Wolverine, 5 of Spider-Man, and 5 of Captain America. And you're going to get 5 command points as a reward. As you can see, I do have a few of each from the night before, but we still got a little ways to go. You will want to look for these in Season 2, Chapter 2. And trust me, they drop pretty frequently. It didn't take that long to get them. Then on top of that, there's an actual task list. And there's 12 tasks in this one. The first, you must defeat 5 Circle of 8 infiltrators. So you can find these throughout Season 2, Chapter 2. Also on this task list, you can see different blueprints for items. First is the retractable claw. Now, this item has a counterattack. It has a chance to counter single target and area attacks. It also has adamantium, Paragon Exploiter. So it's going to ignore defense stats, and it's going to be boosted depending on which debuffs are on the opponent. Next, there is the holographic shield. It's going to protect from single target attacks. It also will apply dizzy and expose to the enemy. And lastly, the item is called the wrist slingers. It has a vase of high chance to avoid melee and ranged attacks, and it will cause slowed and weakened to an opponent. Now, what I should have realized is each one of these blueprints means research time, and that's basically what's going to hold us back from recruiting Moon Knight for a while. After you complete this task, you're going to be given 100 experience, and some more dialogue is going to pop up. Now, if possible, you want to be in Season 2, Chapter 2, Mission 1 right now. And the reason for this is because the third task will involve the boss of Mission 1. So you may want to try to find those infiltrators in Mission 1, and also leave the incursion, because that's the second task. You must survive an incursion. Remember, you can use items like the immobilizer, as well as the distress call to help you win this. After you complete it, you're going to be given 3,000 silver as a reward. Now you're going to see some more of the storyline through dialogue from Maria Hill. And this is going to clue you in to the very next task. She starts talking about the Living Pharaoh. And he, of course, is the boss of Season 2, Chapter 2, Mission 1. So this is why it would be best to already be in Chapter 1. So they tell you defeat the Living Pharaoh, and then you're going to get a command point. You also can see on the taskbar that after you complete this, you will unlock some research. So there you see, blueprint for the retractable claw is unlocked. So the next step is you're going to have to research. Now, when I got to this part, I was pretty bummed out, because to be honest with you, I thought there was 2 separate task lists. One I thought was for the weapon, and the other to unlock Moon Knight. Let me tell you, this is not the case. All of this goes together, and you must do everything to unlock Moon Knight. And then I assume he's still going to cost 90 command points. I know we have 21 days left, but it's still pretty upsetting to me. Here you see it's going to take 16 hours for the first research. And just imagine there's at least 2 more to come. I'm really hoping that they don't get longer, and they at least stay 16 hours or less. But here's the proof that you do have to do all the tasks before you unlock Moon Knight. This is me completing all of the snapshots. And then right after that, it pops up, who needs a blue moon? You have to complete the research for all 3 items. And then it looks like you'll be able to recruit Moon Knight. So yeah, I have to say I'm pretty disappointed, but I will keep you up to date on all the tasks. Also, as soon as I unlock Moon Knight, I will show you him in action at lower levels as well as his recruitment. And of course I'll rush him to level 9 as fast as possible and do a character review. So please stay tuned for all of that. And the last thing I do want to go over really quick is after you do all these researches, it looks like we're going to get a multi-function item, the Vigilante Toolkit. And it looks like this item is going to be able to counterattack, protect, and have a high chance to avoid melee and range attacks as its abilities. So I have to say that's going to be amazing to have all of that in one equipment slot. So I do have to commend them on that, as well as Moon Knight looking pretty cool, and I think his abilities are going to be awesome. Alright, I know I said that was the last thing, but I guess I should go over Moon Knight's abilities. First, he has the White Knight. Gains retribution when an ally is attacked. He also has the chance to gain a new personality every round, and that changes Moon Knight's class, counterattacks, and abilities. So basically what they're showing us is his generalist abilities. And that's Fist of Khonshu, which has Fists of Fury. Number of hits depends on retribution, and consumes all retribution when used. Next, we have Crescent Darts, and that causes impaired, attacks do 20% less damage and cannot crit, pain, and then has Swift Vengeance, so it could be a quick action. His level 6 is Tripwire Tackle. It can stun, it's stealthy, and it causes off balance. And his level 9 is Blood Moon. It has Hemorrhaging Attack, causes bleeding, and ravage, and it increases retribution by 1. And then we do have some information about his additional personalities from the forums. There is a Wolverine personality, so his class changes to Scrapper, it increases the damage of Blood Moon, and Blood Moon now applies 3 stacks of bleeding. Moon Knight also gains Berserker Rage, so he has a chance to counter enemy attacks and also protect his allies, depending on how high his health is. Next is a Captain America personality, so he changes to Tactician, the damage of Crescent Darts increases, and then the Fist of Khonshu now applies Target Focus and Targeted. Then he gets Inspiring Leadership, so provides Inspiring Leadership to all allies, increasing stats. And lastly, Spider-Man personality. He changes to an Infiltrator, it increases the chance for stun from Tripwire Tackle, it has a 100% hit and crit chance, and Tripwire Tackle consumes a stack of retribution. Then he also gets Great Responsibility and Great Power. So those are pretty nice buffs from Spider-Man as well. Right now I'd say this character looks pretty promising, but I will have to test him out for myself. I always like to see how these things work personally. Sometimes it's hard to judge just from reading the tooltip. But anyways, that's going to be the end of the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Good luck, and take care.